We're losing!
Teamwork, guys, more teamwork.
They're burying us alive!
Oh, shit.
Jeez, Louie.
Honey, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're going to be winners.
What's the matter? You got nothing left inside, huh? Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to...
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
All righty, we are back. Episode 157, 157 of the Bad Fodder Figures podcast. Matt and Eric, how do?
I do fine. I do fine.
Just fine also, bruh.
At the JOB once again.
Once again.
We enjoyed seeing your live reactions last week, your facial reactions.
Yeah.
Once again, you're relegated to just this gray square on the screen, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Well, here we are, Sunday night. With any luck, we will get through the podcast and the stream tonight. We are getting some inclement weather. We got the little alert on my phone a short time ago, the U.S. Weather Service, high wind warning. Last time that happened on a podcast, we didn't make it all the way through, Matt.
I remember that.
You know how that is, Matt. You know, you love making. You don't make it all the way through, so you should know how this. You should know this.
I mean, it's all news to me. I mean, I'm used to not making it all the way through. Yeah, I think Barb is too.
Oh, wait. Programming note, there will be no show next Sunday. You know, Matt is very festive come Easter time. Puts on this elaborate costume, makeup, and the whole thing for the bunny. Takes some hours to get on and off, so no show next week. It does.
Yeah, right. I won't have time. By the time I get this thing on, I mean, it's on for good, and Barb likes it when it's on, so.
Just leave that bunny tail on, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, uh-huh. Yep, shake it around a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The ears aren't the only thing floppy that day.
Oh,
wow.
So, yes, we are recording tonight. No show. Everybody have a great Easter Sunday next week, if that's what your thing is. Otherwise, just hope you have a great weekend next week.
Mm-hmm.
So just get that out of the way. Nothing really to announce on the merch front, except we just have a easy URL now for people that want to buy our cheap merch. Bit.ly, that's bit.ly, and then you can go to BFF merch. Bit.ly, BFF merch. Okay?
Love it.
Love it. And I look forward to when we reconvene in 2 weeks. If Eric is not at the JOB and he's home, maybe he can be snuggled up on camera with this blanket.
Yeah, man.
With this I do it constantly blankie.
It'll probably be so damn small. I can't do it constantly with that blanket.
I want to see that. I am very eager to see what the hell that looks like.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
And Eric, while I think of it, I was seeing the, I somewhat of a sports guy, right? And I was watching ESPN or reading ESPN, and I hear that there is great sentiment in the Washington, D.C. area to keep your beloved team as the Washington football team. People are really enamored with this name, and there's a
because everybody's kind of gotten used to it,
right?
So.
Just like losing. You've gotten used to losing. Oh, hey.
But last year with that name, we won the division, right? So
that's right.
Everybody wants to.
You and Ryan Fitzpatrick now. No Alex Smith, right? No.
Hey, look. We could have done worse, man. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's a gamer.
He got some swag to him.
Yeah, he'll give you all he's got. I mean, that might not be much on some Sundays, but he's not a quitter. He's not a guy who's afraid to take the ball.
Right. So I'm optimistic about that. That's cool.
WFT. You think that's what's going to happen, huh?
I guess. You know, like I said before, like on my channel, I could care less what they call it. I don't care. They could be the Warriors. They could be the Washington football team. They could be the Red Tails. I don't care.
So they're going to be the FUBU. What do you guys say the generic stuff is? The
Bobo.
The Bobo.
Yeah, the Bobo team.
FUBU is something completely different from Bobo.
FUBU is closed, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's for us by us. Okay. Bobo is generic.
Okay. All right.
We know it's hard.
Bobo's the generic FUBU.
We're going to get you there, Bat. We're going to get you there.
I'm trying, dude. I'm just now starting to figure out how to stack paper. So,
speaking of this, I didn't write this down in the planner, but here we are, Thursday, man, April 1st. No, it's a hell of a day to be on the internet on April's Fool's Day. But more importantly, we are turning the calendar forward to April, and everybody.
Wait a minute. Back up a bit.
Yes.
Today's not April 1st.
No, Thursday. Coming up Thursday, April 1st.
Oh, okay. All right. You said we're here tonight on April 1st.
No, we're approaching April 1st.
Okay.
And
it's the worst day on the internet.
And we go to the Wayback Calendar to Christmas. I believe someone in your household got an IOU. And what April 1st is what percentage of the way through the year?
It's a little bit of the way through the year. I mean, it's definitely something that should have been done by now. And
you get all this, and you were talking about you don't know how to stack it, but certainly Uncle Joe and Donnie Don hooked you up with some stacking. And so why isn't the work done? Because we haven't got around to going out and picking out tile. Did you hear that, Eric?
You had him stuttering, Mike.
Because, well, geez, yeah, Johnny, thanks. Well.
I think the wind's knocking us out. I think we're about ready to go off air. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that.
I keep meaning to bring that up on past episodes, but I always forget. So now,
I don't know what to. I don't know what to say. we got to go through, and we got to pick out some tile and get some. Yeah, we have to get that going. Yeah, putting that backsplash on, and then we was out the estate because it's been tonight. I got to replace the deck boards. I got to rip the deck up and put new deck boards down. Also.
Oh yeah, getting a little splintery out there.
Yeah, it's getting a little soft in a couple places, so that's coming up. I got to buy some new deck boards, put down there before we fall through. That's important. That's important shit there.
Just put a beanbag underneath it for now.
We get one of them inflatable bouncy castles and put underneath there.
We'll just get some. You're going to do some mulching anyways, right? Just put the mulch bags under there for now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a little cushioning, a little soft cushioning.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, you got time, Matt. You got time. It's only going to be April.
We got a whole year yet. We got a whole time yet. We got plenty of time, dude. I got baseball starting up now and shit, and just
Scorekeeper 69.
Scorekeeper 69 is back in action here. Opening day is April 10th. So
I thought you was going to be at one time like the commissioner or something. They was going to promote you or something like that.
Well,
whatever happened with that? Man?
He didn't. I think Eric. He didn't have the correct voter allegiance, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like with the correct political slant. This may be a different way. A different way to say that.
It's very political in Little League baseball, huh?
Well. Besides that, they swing a whole other way from what I do. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So there were it kind of once my political views came about, they was like it kind of all died down.
This guy's really not the guy to lead us into war. Against the rivalry county and these. What's the league? What's the league again called? What's the name of your league again?
Claremont County, Knothole, East Region.
Knothole is the word I was looking for. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And Knothole.
Knothole.
Yeah. So
not a balloon knot, people. Get your head out of the gutter. Knothole.
Knothole. whole knot.
I really hate when I fucking pop on porn and the fucking chick's got a balloon knot for an asshole.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, I mean, you talk about the one thing that's going to turn you off is that shit right away.
What?
Boom, gone. I'm out. I'm done. Yeah.
Is that like? Let's dive into. No, I really don't want to dive into that. But let's break that down. Is that like being born with an Audi, or is that just because you've had a lot of anal sex and the shit just like popped out a little?
That's something that's way out of my purview. I have no idea. I don't have no. Nothing to add.
Well, you could just give it a guess. It's either A or B.
I would go with B. I guess.
B is what? Too much?
B is too much. Yeah.
God, did we just go off the rails?
Where's I in hell? Where is he? He would have an answer for this.
He would have an answer. Because the anal butt plug's not that difficult.
Yeah.
The advanced butt plug. Advanced butt plug. Oh, Jesus Christ.
The advanced plug actually is not that difficult.
All right.
There we go.
There we go.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's the latter. Yeah, I think there's just that, or it could be could it be a physical thing where it's just like that's the way it is?
I guess we can put one of you guys up for some experimentation. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I don't. Yeah, once I see that shit, it's like,
yeah, that shit's got to go quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like Porky Pig or something like that. You just want to pull it. You want to hear it.
It's like a fucking big old fucking hemorrhoid or something
like
on
this,
there. Oh.
What the hell? Jeez Louise.
Get them nail clippers out and start nail.
Oh no.
No.
Blood everywhere. God damn.
Oh Jesus. It's probably a good thing we're taking off next Friday.
Twitch, I think Twitch is going to come knocking and be like, guys, you should
guys, come on.
Guys, come on. Take next week off.
Take the rest of the week off.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. No, I really had a terrible, like not terrible, but I had a long, hard week of work, right? And I didn't do much. I did some gaming, but I was just sort of like had blinders on, right? And we're driving down the Cape, and all of a sudden my family starts talking about this big boat stuck in a canal. And I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. And ever since they said that, like, I can't escape this news story or this image. Like, there's memes everywhere. Mm-hmm. Civil engineer Matt, can you fill me in on what's going in, how this happened, and how we're going to correct this?
Well, how it happened was apparently it was a big windstorm, sandstorm that came through, and they couldn't see exactly where they was going, and somehow they got this big ship lodged sideways in this fucking narrow canal, and it ran aground.
And it's an oversized cargo ship, bigger than usual, right?
Yeah, and it has a lot of those shipping crates on it, and it's bogging it down.
Yeah, it's a Panamax size ship. I mean, the biggest ship that you can make is a Panamax, and that means that's the biggest you can make because that's the biggest that can fit through the Panama Canal. Okay. Now there's obviously other ships smaller, but you can't make anything bigger than that because it won't fit through the Panama Canal. But that's what got stuck in there, with these big Panamax ships, and it's wedged in there pretty good because you can see the front of the boat. The front of the boat, it's way up out of the water and shit. So it's lodged. It got lifted up out and shit, and it's got to be dug out and tugs pushing and pulling, and
draining won't help anything. That'll just make matters worse, right? Putting more water in would just sort of flood the area, right?
Well, yeah, you can't really put more water in it because there's nothing to dam it up to keep it in there. It's just going to it's not going to work that way. Yeah, you have to dig out the front and push and pull, and
I'll take some of the cargo off.
How are you going to do that?
I don't know. I've only seen aerial views of it, so I don't know what the sides of it like. Can they get up close to this boat and start bringing in some machines to pull this shit off? Not
with that sand issue. You have to use helicopters to get that shit off. It's a good idea because it can maybe lighten it up, kind of lift it some. No. But you're talking about more time than what they're dealing with now, digging it out and trying to push it and stuff like that.
Now, is it cargo that would affect the U.S. that's on this thing, or is it cargo going to other places?
Quite possibly, yeah. It could be. It could be cargo that's going here or anywhere. That it could be a butterfly effect where it's something that's on that ship that someone needs to build something to send to us. Or it could be something coming directly to us, or it could be any type of thing like that. Yeah. I
was reading a story saying that this isn't the first time this has happened. In some sort of war between Egypt and Israel, they closed off the Suez Canal for like 6 or 7 years, and boats got stuck on the canal. They called it Yellow City because of all the boats getting all the sand on them. They were there for like 6 or 7 years. It was maybe even longer than that. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a very crucial canal, just like the Panama Canal is. I mean, granted, it's not going to stop things from happening, because they can go around. It's just more money and more time, obviously. But it's a very crucial waterway, along with the Panama Canal. If something ever happened in the Panama Canal, it'd be, oh my gosh, they have to go all the way down South America and up and around, Just like this here, they gotta go. If they don't have this, they gotta go all the way around. That's more fuel. That's more time. It's a pretty major thing.
When did they estimate this is going to be? They're going to have it cleared out.
I think a week. They got some big super tugboats or something. I read today headed out that way, and they're thinking that hopefully this week they can get it unlodged and get things moving again.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fucking cargo out there. And, again, I have no idea how that would affect like someone like me or you, but I know just the way the pandemic is going to affect us. I was talking to, we were down the Cape this weekend, and, we're having minimal landscaping done down there, like, guy coming in to do the mowing, every few weeks, doing a spring cleanup, planting some hydrangeas for us, things of that nature. And he says, like fertilizer is more money this year because some of the fertilizer plants were shut down. And he's already hearing that mulch is going to be more expensive this year.
I bought grass seed and a bug killer on Saturday morning to put around the yard. That was more expensive. I paid probably $20 more than what I did last year for that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you don't know what to believe. Is it more expensive because of the pandemic? Is it more expensive because they know people got more money put in their pocket? You can put your tinfoil hat on and go that route, right?
I think it's a combination of both. I mean, the cost of everything goes up every year. The cost goes up. Now it's a bigger jump this year, obviously. And I think some of it's because of shortages and that. And I think some of it's, I want to say, a man-made shortage where they're taking advantage of, I want to say price gouging, but they're like, you know what, let's raise some prices. Some shit.
Try to recoup on what we lost.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we have plenty of news to get to, gentlemen. Should we get to it now? Should we get to it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The news?
The news.
Let's do the fucking news.
Yeah.
The fucking news.
The fucking news? We already covered that earlier, but we'll get to the regular.
Yeah. The balloon knot news.
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? He just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no. I'm going to do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
All right, Eric. There's been a trend in the PlayStation news as opposed to the Xbox news, right? PlayStation is still selling at an unbelievable clip. Their first-party games are still the games to beat, right? But they're making moves that are like the opposite of like Xbox moves, right? Xbox is all about, whether you want to call it this or not, you could say game preservation. Okay, backwards compatibility, and then giving those games a boost. Where it seems like PlayStation, we ain't got time for that. Okay.
Yeah, they're cutting off everything,
and they're losing some fans along the way. I mean, the critics are harsh about this news here. So published Monday of this past week, the PlayStation Store for Sony's PlayStation 3, Vita, and the PSP will close for good in July and August, which will make the digital copies of those games for those platforms unavailable for purchase going forward. Certainly a long time ago, those games stopped showing up on the PlayStation 4 store. They're certainly not on the PlayStation 5 store now. So they made it difficult for you to buy those games anyways. But now they're saying if you have a PS3 or a Vita or a portable, you're only going to be able to play the games you already own. You're not going to be able to play. You're not going to be able to buy anything more. Certainly, if you have PlayStation Now, you can stream some of these PS2 and PS3 games. So that's a way for people to still play the older titles. But they're taking it away. There must be a cost to keep those servers up, to keep that storefront up. Probably not bringing in a ton of volume in revenue. But what do you guys think? Is this PlayStation paying for their sins of not being forward thinkers and how they've crafted their games at an early age? Where certainly Microsoft has a shorter history, just the Xbox, the 360, and the One, and they were all sort of maybe built on the same infrastructure, so it was easier for them to carry their games over and backwards compatibility. But what do you guys think? Is this a bad thing, a bad move?
Well, I mean, I don't. What you just said, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's Sony's fault for not supporting it. Okay, I think they got a bad habit of not supporting stuff that they've thrown out there, and the Vita and the PSP is prime examples of that. Mm-hmm. Okay, is it a bad? I mean, it sucks. Absolutely for the people that still play it, if there is many people that still out there playing it, but if they're not making money on it, if they're spending more money on it than they are getting it back, then I guess it's time to shut it down. I don't know. It's people bitch and complain about Bungie and what they did with Destiny, and they cut all that shit out of it, and stuff that being EA abandoning old servers and that. Where's the outcry for this here? That people doing this? I mean, you can't be hypocrites about this shit.
For me, it's not a big deal because if I want to play something, there's means and ways you can get something. You know what I mean? I can emulate stuff. I can go back and play stuff. Have thousands of games if I want. So the older stuff doesn't really matter. Everything had its day, So I'm more onto the newer things anyway. So, and it's a business. Sony's not making any money off of freaking whatever game that came out in 91. You know what I mean? So they could probably care less. And I'm with them on that. And and like the Vita, PSP, they were good things. And if you have those discs that you can play, and how many people play Atari nowadays? You know what I mean? I'm sure it's a market for it, but people not knocking down the doors trying to play the newest, latest Atari 2600 game. So everything has its course, and I think that. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, with the Atari or like Nintendo, there's no online component to that, so it's not like you can still play that if you wanted to. You can play that to your heart's content. There's nothing shutting that down to where you couldn't play it anymore. Right. Whereas this are shutting down the store, they're shutting down servers and stuff.
But usually, if there's something that they're shutting down, right? This is just my way of thinking. If there's something that they're shutting down, there's also a counter to that that you can play now. But if you're just stuck in the past, you'll never go forward. That's the way I see it. So
that's true. Wise words from Eric.
It's not hurting my feelings if they shut it down. They can shut all the PlayStation 3 stuff down. They can shut the PlayStation 4 stuff down as far as I'm concerned. I care less.
Now, Chase brings up a good point. Can you still download them? I would assume if they're in your library that you don't, as long as you don't need to go to the store, you should still be able to download them. So it's been a while since I've been on the PS3, Chase, but there should be something that says like My Library, and so as long as you have added them to your library, then yes, you should still be able to download them. But it is a good question, like does the store go away? Does that mean the servers for where those games live still exist so you can download them? It's an excellent question. The article doesn't make any reference to that, so that's something we'd have to look at. Here it says they'll no longer be able for purchase. It doesn't say anything about how to download them. You would think they wouldn't do. That would open up a whole ball of wax, boy, if they just said, well, your system is essentially what you get on there is what you got going forward. You know what I mean?
Don't delete it because you can't get it back.
Right. I mean, what do you guys feel? Does Sony and Microsoft, Nintendo, do they, beyond being a business, do they have some sort of, I guess you would say, job to preserve games? Are they just a business and that's it, or do they sort of have to have some sort of bigger picture in mind that this is an art form? These games existed. It could have been a developer's only thing. The developer could be dissolved at this point, and they have some sort of caretaker mentality of these games to keep them out there.
I think it's a business, and people need to start seeing it like a business. Because if you look at any other business, like as far as business model, I know they're different, but say the car industry, I think a 1969 Corvette looks dope, right? But Chevy could care less. I mean, they look at it as, hey, this is something we made in '69 and it's great, but they're not dwelling on it, I don't think. Mm-hmm. So it's a business, and people, I think we should, bring that. If you're into '69 Mustangs, then there's a group for that, and that's how I think games should be. If you're into the older games and you're into whatever, you should get into a group about that.
I think go ahead, Matt.
Well, I think the biggest concern I would have is the online part of it. Games that are online all the time, that they start shutting servers down now, which they have done before. But I'm sure they don't just do it willy-nilly. It's like, okay, you know what? There's only like 5,000 people playing this game.
But there's only a couple games like that, though, right?
Right.
Like Destiny.
Destiny, Division. I mean, there's a lot of games that require an online component still, even single-player games. But it's like, okay, you know what? There's only like 5,000 people playing this game. We got to shut these servers down because we're not getting any return on this. It's time to go. The game's been out for 7 years, 8 years. It's ran its course.
I think that I get all these points. I think they're certainly valid. I think from my stance is some of these things only exist in digital format, right? Eric makes the '69 Mustang, right? Or the Atari or the Nintendo. Those are all physical items. Some of these things only exist in digital form. And I think Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo have a responsibility, besides being a business, to preserve some of this as the system holders. And I don't know how, listen, I'm not the one who makes the big bucks to determine that. Maybe they're bleeding money here and it is the right move. But when you're getting your clocked clean on a daily basis by your competitor, doing fan-friendly things, it makes all the business sense in the world. It does not publicly look like the smartest move when your competitor out there is doing all these fan-friendly things, and your news cycle has been very, very quiet lately. And the first news story that comes up is, we're taking stuff away from you. We're not going to let you buy these games anymore. I think it's a bad look, and B, I do think they have some sort of responsibility to offer these games somewhere. Maybe they say, all right, it's not on the console anymore. You got to go to this website. Some way, I think those games should still exist to be purchased. They're making money hand over fist, so it's not like they don't have the money to prop this up in some way to keep it going.
Yeah.
Easy for me to say, not my money. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Certainly it's the nice thing for them to do, keep things going in that. But, you're buying a license for the game. You're not buying the game. They can take that game. You could buy a game like Cyberpunk. They could say, you know what, Cyberpunk, you're not playing it. No one's playing it. We're going to disable it even though you paid for it. The game's so fucked up. We're disabling it. You can't even play the goddamn game. Digital or physical. they could have done that. They could, even if you have a physical, Chase keeps from the physical thing, even if it's a physical game, they can shut that shit down. John Madden football, if you buy physical, well, guess what? There's no service where you can play online. You can't download your roster. The game won't communicate with the server anymore. You can't play anymore. MLB The Show, same way. How many games you put in, you can't connect you in or signing you in or something like that. But I agree with you. I think there is that, somewhat of a justice for them to do somewhat, but there is that timeline where it's like, there's no one playing this anymore. It's time to shut these things down, stop supporting it.
I'm sure there's someone out there who's already done this, but I would love to see the breakdown of digital-only exclusives to PS3 and Vita that are digital. I would love to see, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, let's say there was 3,000 games and only 30 of those are exclusive and digital. So we're talking keeping the store propped up so people could buy 30 games that are exclusive to those two systems and are digital and can't be bought anywhere else, right? Or maybe it's a larger number. Maybe out of 3,000 games, it's 750 games that are digital only on those two systems, and that's the only way you can get them. I would love to see a breakdown of that. So if anybody comes across that, shoot it my way to see really what the impact of closing the store is.
How does PC do it? Because I know a lot of times when games close down on PC, they leave it open source, and a lot of people get a hold of it themselves and create stuff on their own.
Well, that's what Chase. That's what Chase is saying here in the chat, that closing the store down leads to piracy. Right, so they're sort of opening themselves up now to people coming in and trying to get that code and prop the games up on some other sort of server, saying, "Here, you can get it here," and emulate it or whatever.
Yeah,
I think if they're shutting it down, they're not doing anymore. Do they really care at this point?
Yeah, I don't think they do.
It all depends on what games are. I mean, I'm sure they give a shit if it's fucking SOCOM or those Moto games. Or the MotorStorm games and the SOCOM and shit like that. I'm sure there's you put that on, Helmer.com and say, here, download this shit all day till you're fucking blue in the face. Their lawyer's going to come and send you a cease and desist. Now,
you should try this.
If you go to balloonnot.com, but if it's some, third party indie game that was just on the Vita and someone got a hold, I don't think Sony's going to give a rat's ass, but I sure as shit, if you touch one of their properties that they own, they're going to fucking care.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what, I don't know.
It's a tough call because I get both sides of it. Maybe they're doing a big cleanup, right? And this shit just bogging the back end down. And they really want the PS4 and the PS5 stores and their infrastructure really to be nimble, right? Like if you go back to the Destiny example that you talked about, people were upset about getting that content up. But I think Destiny, the Bungie devs, cleaned that shit out to make their game run better, right? To make a smaller file size. And just to be more efficient and not just be bogged down with all this other crap that they got to up. Every time they got to do an update, they got to look through the code of that shit, make sure that shit's going to work.
I think it's just a sign of the times that we're in. We're in a disposable society. Every 2 years you get a new phone, TV. You're getting a new TV all the time. Just shit gets done, thrown away. You use it, you throw it away. People on 3G phones, they're shit out of luck because most of these places are 4G, 5G towers now. They're not even supporting 3G stuff anymore. I mean, how does that work? It's just things change, things evolve. You got to move on some of this stuff.
Now, Matt, I'm sure you don't have a PS3 anymore, right? You probably traded it in for something.
It's been long gone. Yeah,
and you don't buy. If you had a breakdown at the end of a console cycle, your percentage of indie purchases certainly back in the PS3 days was probably very little. Your digital purchases have gone up since the PS4.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if they came to you and said, you know what, you got to download this shit, if you want to continue playing these games, and whether now or in the future, and Eric, this is for you too, you got to start downloading the stuff before August. Because the store is going away, but also the ability to re-download stuff's going away too. Are you busting out your Vita and making sure it's got anything on there you want, Eric? Are you hooking up the PS3 to make sure there's something that you might have bought that's not installed, and just so you can have it installed just in case, or are you just like fuck?
Not at all. I could care less.
I'd have to find my goddamn charger to charge my Vita up.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, if they said that to me, I'm making sure that Super Stardust Delta's fucking that shit's downloaded.
It's I don't know. I mean, it's. I'm sure it wasn't taken light. I'm sure they didn't just say, well, you know what, let's shut this shit down. We're done. I'm sure there was a lot of people talking about it. They had meetings and shit, and they said, okay, the best thing for the return is going to shut down, and that's it, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. Moving on here. Lots of Xbox news here. Eric, this is what I'm talking about. Adding things on instead of subtracting. Although I would like to have a stern conversation over with someone at Xbox and all their convoluted fucking names. Now, to even make it even more crystal clear, Xbox Live, the infrastructure, what we call Xbox Live, is now Xbox Network. Okay? So the update from Xbox Live to Xbox Network is intended to distinguish the underlying service from Xbox Live Gold memberships. So if you're not an Ultimate subscriber, right, you still need to pay for Xbox Live. If you have Ultimate Game Pass, you get that all mushed in together. But if you want to not do anything Game Pass related, you need your Xbox Live. So they're doing this to separate themselves from the Xbox Live Gold membership. What do you think of this? Even more? Just another name you have to remember now for Xbox?
Yeah, they just jumping in the weeds, man. Sometimes, man, they're doing too much, man. And I know they're trying to, the Xbox Network, they're trying to get in line with the PlayStation Network. You know what I mean? But they got so much going on over at Xbox. And I'm not hating, but they have so much going on at Xbox, man.
I think they're laying the groundwork to get rid of gold at some point here. We have lots of stories here to go over with Xbox, but the thing I keep going back for, and I could completely be making this up and pulling this out of my hat, but they've been given an ultimatum, I believe, from up on high. Go for the jugular, surpass PlayStation and everybody else. We're going all in 110, 120% here. And if we're not making strides by going all in here, then we're going to severely scale back what we're doing, or we're going to get out of the fucking game. And that would be, we're talking, 10 years down the road here. But I think they're pushing all their chips in. And I think at some point Xbox Live is going to go away, and everything's just going to be Game Pass. You're a Game Pass subscriber. They're going to bundle it in somehow. Maybe the $9.99 goes up a little bit in price, but I think that's the road they're headed down here.
They're going for the jugular with a butter knife though right now. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
he's into these things.
$7.5 billion to buy Bethesda is not a butter knife. I would.
Yeah, but okay, and look, and I think that's great. I guess I'm stop talking about it and be about it. You're talking so much crap. I'm hearing so much, and you're doing nothing.
Well, here we go. We got more stories, Eric, for you. We got more.
Okay, give me more stories.
Xbox Party Chat now is going to be free. So if Bibbs is out there, he wants to join us on Wednesday nights when we're in party, that's coming soon free. So the alpha testers right now, if you're like in the insider program, they've noticed that you now no longer need gold for multiplayer and free-to-play games. None of this is live for the general public yet. This is just for alpha members and insiders. Multiplayer and free-to-play games, looking for groups, and party chat no longer require an Xbox Live Gold membership. And this is this is them laying the groundwork to roll this out later this year, to sort of catch up to PlayStation, who already does not have a paywall to play free-to-play games. So that will be one aspect of this. But now people want to jump into Party Chat but aren't subscribing. They can do so.
So no juggler, just normalizing. You're just doing what they're supposed to have done a long time ago. You're not doing. That's
well, I don't know if you can
I'm
jump into PlayStation Chat for free. I don't think you can do that. But I get what you're saying. This is a build-up, Eric. I think it's like, you know what I mean. I think they are making steps here to have this larger vision. I guess certainly get what you're saying. You're a guy that wants to have my games now. I want, put up or shut up. Give me my fucking games that are going to compete with the great games on the other platform. All this other stuff is just noise for me right now.
Yes.
Is that what you're feeling a little bit like, you think?
Yeah, I'm feeling that exactly. And, when you got, because both companies are just talking right now. They're just setting stuff, starting stuff out. Sony is saying this and Xbox is saying this. But the stuff Sony is saying, it's like they're going for the jugular. The stuff Xbox is saying, oh, we got Bethesda. Okay, you got Bethesda. And I can play Skyrim. So what? I played Skyrim 15 years ago. Now what? So, come on, man. Come with it. I understand what they're trying to do. And that's a big deal. But stop doing all this talking. Maybe they are at work. Maybe who knows? Maybe I'm not. They're not. Just show something. Get people excited about something instead of the old shit that we played 100 years ago.
I can hear a lot what you're saying, Eric. But I think they are doing something. They are. I mean, yeah, like Mike said, buying $7.5 billion for Bethesda. That ain't going to happen.
A lot of money.
It ain't going to happen overnight either, though. That all of a sudden they're going to just turn off the faucet and say, okay.
Okay, so
it's all here. Shit takes time.
Here's the thing, Matt. Before Microsoft bought Bethesda was their own studio, and they was working on crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now Microsoft owns that crap. Let's show what Bethesda's been working on. Maybe this is E3. That's what they're going to do. I don't know, man. Show something and stop talking about how much money you're spending. And now, who cares, man?
I mean, they certainly have to get to a point where their first-party games come out in a regular cadence, and they're building up to that. They're leading you to believe that they're building up to that. I think the pandemic, whether you want to believe that or not, the pandemic has greatly impacted, I think, AAA games. And we have a news story here later on where another AAA game's being delayed. Last week we talked about Gotham Knights being delayed. There's been a bunch of others that have already been delayed as well. You can make a strong case that Cyberpunk should have been delayed. So I think no pandemic, they might have had us a little bit more to show. I just think AAA games are harder to make from home. Where the indie games, that's, a lot of those people do make them from home. A lot of those people make, you got the graphic designer in Toronto, you got your, your programmer in New York, they're spread all over the place. But I think the AAA games are a little harder to make. So I'm not trying to give them excuses, but I just think to me that's the reality of it, that they're doing other stuff now, and they might have had some more games to show if there wasn't, this slowdown in development.
I like how Sony's returning to serve, right? They're doing stuff like what's about, and Matt, you're so excited about it. MLB The Show is coming out on the Xbox. Mm-hmm. That right there is a smack in the face, if you ask me.
Smack in the face for
Microsoft. Come on, man. You got a Sony product coming out, and it's going to be probably one of the highest selling things that Microsoft.
I certainly don't want to circle back to the Bethesda conversation because I think me and Matt think differently. But it's like people think it's super great that the baseball game's coming out on Xbox and Sony's making money on both platforms. But as soon as you say Fallout 5 and the next Skyrim on Sony, people are like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. That's not going to happen. Well, why wouldn't you want to take the money from both places? Anyways, I don't want to go back to that conversation.
But see, we can't have the Fallout conversation because that ain't coming out till like 2025. So
2030. I maintain that it is a 50-50 proposition. What happens first? The leadership at Xbox. These guys don't stay in these positions forever, guys. It's a high pressure gig. right? People, it eats on your health to be in those types of positions, I assume. And you're not going to, PlayStation has had numerous guys leave over time, right? And I don't know if Phil Spencer is going to be in it for, it's a close, you would have to have, a serious wager there. Does a Fallout 5 come out first, or does Phil Spencer still have the job? He could be burnt out by then and be like, you know what, I'm done in 5, 7, 8 years. He's got enough cash to live off and go live that RV life like Matt, him and Matt drag racing, their fucking RVs. He's like, fuck this. I set you guys up for success. Peace out. Hand it over to the next person.
I'm sure it's stuff we don't know that's behind the curtain. I mean, that's for sure. But I'd like to have a conversation. But I want to say, Phil, I know this stuff has to be developed. But you've been developing stuff since the Xbox One X, since the Xbox One.
Well, they're meddlers. They are certainly meddlers and stuff. We saw that with the, what was that game with the dragon and the headphones?
Exactly. Exactly. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Matt, the last paragraph in this story, it says, we're talking about free to play for the party chat and the looking for groups and the multiplayer free to play. But it says these changes will appear for all Xbox owners in the coming months once Microsoft is ready to push the dashboard update to all the users. The latest dashboard update also includes a new firmware update for the Xbox wireless headset that will improve mic monitoring levels and lower the volume on status tones. Have you tried your headset at all since last week?
I have not used it in the past week. It's sitting in a box over here. Have you?
No, I have not.
Yeah. I got mine. I haven't used it yet. I'm about to do an unboxing for it though. But
yeah, well, you'll have to let me know if you get the audio drops. I was listening to the Kind of Funny Xcast I was down the Cape this week, and I drove home, and I was catching up on episodes, and the host of that show, Snowbike Mike, says he was getting the audio drops like us when he was watching some movies on the Xbox Series S. So much so that it was happening every few minutes that he had to take the headphones off and just watch it on his monitor or TV or whatever. So it's not just me and you, Matt. Someone else on a big time podcast. Not as big time as this, I assume, but on a big time podcast.
We're big time. We're a little big time.
Little big time.
Name real quick, guys. Real quick, if I can get y'all to answer this question.
Yep.
Name the in the past 10 years, what's the biggest title that came out on the Xbox?
Past 10 years, got to be Minecraft. I would think.
Minecraft and Cyberpunk, maybe.
10 years, past 10 years.
Yeah, from
now, a monetary standpoint.
Or just the biggest, just the blockbuster game that just.
Oh, GTA. I mean, it's got to be the GTAs. Those things just keep selling. That came the 10 years was GTA, but that's a cross-platform. Well, so is Cyberpunk.
Okay, name one that's exclusive to Microsoft that come out in 10 years.
Well, I think it's going to be Minecraft was exclusive for a while before it went everywhere else.
Yeah,
that's just the one that jumps to mind. I mean, other than that, then you got to think about the Halo games, and Halo and Gears and Forza.
So those are the ones, right? Okay, I was just wondering because
I would assume. I mean, there could be some indie games in there as well that have done really well for them. I'd have to look, but like PlayStation did really well on some like Flower and stuff like that. Does Xbox have something like that's escaping my mind? I mean, certainly Cuphead did well, but I don't know how like huge numbers. What was
I'm just saying that
Gears of War.
I'm saying that to say, if you compare their past 10 years with Sony's past 10 years, I see a big difference.
Oh, I mean, there's no doubt about it. The quality's been better on the other side, and Xbox is more about the services they provide, and there's just two different ways to approach it for sure. And they're trying to right the wrong now. You don't spend $7.5 billion to, just to say, I just want to throw the money around. Roblox is more of a PC. Is Roblox available on PlayStation? I have no idea. But Roblox makes huge money.
Yeah, it does.
Moving on. Microsoft is opening up their wallets, Eric, and are in exclusive talks to acquire Discord for $10 billion.
Yeah, they're going to run it in the ground just like they did Skype.
Well, that's the interesting thing. We'll play that out. Are they trying to replace Skype and go with Discord? Are they trying to improve the audio quality on the console? Or are they trying to take the cash cow away from Google? Because Discord runs on Google's cloud servers, right? So if they acquire them, they would take them off of Google at some point and put them over on the Azure servers on their own, right? So that's a big hit to Google to lose that. So it could go a number of ways, but they're in exclusive talks and could complete a deal next month if they don't fall apart. Of course, they tried to acquire TikTok and other things last year. But Matt, what do you see them doing with Discord? Do you think it's something for consoles? You think it's a little bit of both? Replace Skype, improve Skype?
I don't think it has anything with Skype. Teams is a replacement for Skype. Okay, Microsoft Teams. The Skype's, yeah. I think they're trying to get ahead on this. Maybe to do something with crossplay, help with crossplay and stuff. Some type of party chat for people in that. Besides that, I'm not sure why they would want it. To improve. Maybe for to help people chat between console and PC and parties or something like that.
Well, I'll tell you why. They got 140 million monthly users.
Discord does?
Yeah. So they're trying to convert those people into Game Pass. They're trying to do anything they can to bring in numbers to the Xbox ecosystem. So they spend $10 billion, get those customers into their infrastructure. They hope a large percentage of that, turns into paying customers for other products. Maybe you become a Discord Nitro subscriber and you get Game Pass along with it. It gets bundled in. With your Ultimate Game Pass, you get Nitro.
Sure.
I mean, the pessimists will say, well, Discord's going to go away. They're going to take everything that we enjoyed about it and they're going to throw that all in the dumpster and they're just going to improve Xbox Live party chat. I don't see that. I don't think you spend $10 billion just to improve your chat quality.
No, but one thing can turn into some type of streaming service.
Why don't they just make some games? That's it.
Yeah.
Eric and his games.
So the article here on Wall Street Journal said Discord got its start in 2015 as a platform that made it easy for video game enthusiasts to chat while playing online games together. It now has about 140 million monthly users, and while many newcomers have formed communities dedicated to a range of topics unrelated to games, it remains a hotspot for gamers looking to connect with one another online. User says it offers higher quality audio than other chat services, including even that of Microsoft's Xbox and Skype. Now, is it higher quality audio because it's on Google's cloud server? Or is there something in the code for Discord? I don't know. I don't know enough about development stuff like that. Maybe someone in chat knows. Like, does any of that have anything to do with it? Like where the shit is hosted? Or is it all, the quality is all baked into the coding? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, Google is probably just hosting it, so I'm not sure that has to do with...
Right, but if you put Discord on Helmer.com and your servers can't support it, I'm sure the chat quality suffers because of that, no?
Oh, now you're giving Helmer.com a bad name now.
Well, Balloonnut.com, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have you got to have that backbone for all that shit, no matter where it's going, where it is.
That's a lot of cake, Eric. $10 billion. Do you, as a pessimist right now, Eric, do you worry that they're spending all their money, $10 billion to, let's say they go through with that? And they are market value right now, Microsoft, is $1.7 trillion. So they have the money. But is $10 billion a drop in the bucket? It's 7.5 here, 10 here. At some point, their investors and top people say, all right, these games aren't selling. Does it put added when you spend that type of money? Does it put added pressure on those studios now to come up with hits? If it's just middle of the road shit and you've just dropped close to $20 billion on some other stuff, are you like the first area that they look at now to save money and recoup money? You know, we projected your game to sell $5 million and you sold $1 million. Is all of a sudden Microsoft just like cutting those people out?
Well, I'm gonna try to get back on good terms with Microsoft. Okay. Obviously, I think when they bought Bethesda, say like Bethesda, or they're thinking about buying Discord, the developers of Bethesda and are showing them something. They have to be showing them something. I'm just not going to buy you because of the old crap you have. I don't think, right? Do you think that's what they did?
Well, they bought it certainly for the legacy of those franchises.
Nah,
they know if you roll out the Fallouts and the Skyrims, it's going to sell. And
yeah, but I'm thinking they had to show them something to spend that type of money.
Oh, I'm sure Starfield is close to being done, and then they move over. Then they move out to Fallout 5, and then I think it goes. I think the order of those games goes Starfield, Skyrim, or I think they just call it Elder Scrolls, right? So it goes Starfield, Elder Scrolls, Fallout. It's probably the cadence those things will come out.
Yeah, and with Discord, I'm showing Discord is showing them, hey, some kind of, new technology they developed or something with, So, again, they're going to be great soon, but not right now. But I guess the money is be well spent. But I think Microsoft has a tendency to ruin stuff, man, and move on because they have so much money.
People say the same things about Sony, right? They don't stick with their products. Matt was talking about the Vita, the PSP. Yep. People say the same shit about Google, Stadia, the phones, and the glasses type shit. What was that? The Google Glass.
Google Glass.
Yeah. So they're all guilty of it, right? They're looking for that quick return on investment. If it doesn't pan out, they don't have the stomach to stick with it.
Well, I was shocked when they decided to go to PSVR 2. I was actually shocked. Because I thought, because they had put out that statement like, sometime in the future we'll get into it. Just basically, it was nothing. And then they come out with the bomb statement, hey, we're all about this. So who knows? Maybe they're trying to change their ways.
I'm just surprised that Discord's more than Bethesda.
140 million monthly users.
I understand that, but
people want those. They want those customers.
Yeah,
they want to market to those 140 million people.
Man,
can I go off on a tangent real quick?
Oh, go ahead. We're ahead of the game. It's very early. You think we've been doing this?
Okay, so
it's only 10 o'clock.
Since we're talking about selling stuff,
yes,
it's this company out there, right? And the title of the company is Glovebox, right?
Glovebox Gaming? Oh no, just Glovebox. Oh,
Glovebox. It's an insurance company, right? And so I get all that crap on Twitter because people hit me up and they think I'm an insurance company, right? So me, I hit up the company. I'm like, listen, everything has a price. Y'all can buy the Glovebox if you want. Make me an offer, right? And this is a multi-million-dollar company from what I read up on it and everything.
Did you get a lawyer said that's ours?
they got back with me and was like, "How much are you talking?" I said, "I don't know. Make me an offer, right?" Because I did some research on how much is a Twitch account worth and all this other stuff, right? And it depends on how many people they have following them because they have a website. It's called Glovebox app or something, but their traction is going to me. Their stuff is going to me. So I'm like, I'm playing right now. I'm playing with these guys right now. So my question, how much would you sell your Twitter to a company for? How much would you?
Well, I think Matt, you can say you don't want to talk about it if you don't want to, but I think you sort of have some experience with this where people wanted to buy your video.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of played hardball, and then you sort of lost out on that because no one wants to buy it. Right.
Well, I didn't play hard. Well, I mean, a couple guys. I was like, "Okay, what you talking about?" I was like, "No." And then I would take the papers to my lawyer and have him look over it. And he like, "No, they're putting all the liability on you. if someone goes out and gets hurt because of this video, you're going to be liable, not them. That's why I turned down a lot of that stuff.
I mean, I would definitely go to a lawyer also if they made me an offer, but
I mean, I would. To me, you know, how much does the name mean to you? I mean, if someone came to me and says, you know, we give you $100,000 for it, I probably wouldn't blink an eye and be like, no, I want $150,000. I probably that sounds good. That's $100,000. I did $100,000 I didn't have the day before. You know what I mean? And what do we?
Right.
You know, if you're truly looking to get rich, I don't know. I mean,
I'm not trying to get rich, but I just want, you know, because I know they want it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I think you're living in a. I don't see them. I see them giving you maybe $1,000, $5,000, and say, "Here you go."
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm thinking. I don't see the big G's coming.
No, I don't want big G's. But I do want something worth my while. Come on, dude.
So it's worth your while.
Yeah,
you obviously got a number in your mind. So
I take $10,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's $10,000 you didn't have the day before. You got to see how much, you know. Are you incorporated right now? If someone buys it off you, is that like, what are the tax implications if someone buys a name off you? If you're just I'm just Captain Mike M. Someone wants to be that and gives me $10,000. Is that $10,000 I can just put in do I have to claim taxes on that? Because I didn't spend anything to get that name. Someone just giving like.
That's income. Yeah.
I would have to know, you know, what's the tax? Like, is the government taking a third of that? Are they taking 40% of that? What, you know, then
it's income.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is I got at Glovebox locked up. So
anytime you get money, that's income that you're supposed to claim on your taxes.
So you have Glovebox Gaming, but you also have just Glovebox. That's what
on Twitter. I have Glovebox on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. I get.
And that's the name of their company. Yep.
So you could. So you know that'd be something if they came back and say, hey, well, you know, it's okay if I do Glovebox Gaming, you know, for Twitter or something like that. Glovebox.
No, I can do Glovebox Gaming. Here's the deal.
I mean, the thing is, like you said, you have to have a lawyer look at it or something like that because they might say, okay, we own all of Glovebox. So, okay, we bought the Glovebox, we bought everything. You're no longer a Glovebox. You cannot use that for anything.
Yeah, you might have to be Glover Box now.
Yeah, or Box Glove.
No. In order for them to use Glovebox on Twitter, they got to go through me because I already have it. And if they try to apply for it, they can't use it.
No, but what he's saying is let's just say they give you $100,000. Let's say that's the money you settle on. But part of the stipulation there is you can't do anything Glovebox again. You can't do Glovebox Gaming. You can't do I Love Glovebox Gaming.
No.
You have to come up with some other persona.
No, I can have Glovebox Gaming because they're not Glovebox Gaming. I have Glovebox Gaming.
No, but the lawyer might put that writing in there, even though you think you can. Yeah. You think you can do it. The negotiation might be, we'll give you 6 figures, but you have to move on, sir. You have to become someone else. You cannot be Glovebox. Okay. You have to be Glover Gaming.
Glovebox at all.
Okay,
right.
All right.
You gotta give up that rug. You gotta give her that rug. You got.
And my lawyer will say, kick rocks.
I hope you don't say kick rocks. I hope for someone comes to you with $100,000, Eric, you don't say kick rocks. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please.
I mean, if someone came to me and said, you know, $100,000, we're going to buy Devious Mr. Matt, I said, where do I fucking sign the goddamn check?
Yeah, like you can't be Devious Mr. Matt anymore. Like you have to be something else. Like fuck. Yeah. How about I just go away? I'm fucking.
Yeah, hey, you know what?
I'll just make Matt and Eric's life easy on Sunday night. I'll just fucking go away.
Well, all I know is we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll keep y'all posted.
Yeah, I'm looking at this now. Yeah, it's a Glovebox, request a demo, explore all features. There's an app.
What's their Twitter now?
Glovebox app.
Okay. Yeah.
You should just respond to me. Fuck you. I'm not Glovebox. Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you. I don't care. Your app doesn't work.
Let's hope they didn't listen to the podcast.
Oh gosh.
right, let's get back to the games. We had some indie titles, Eric, at the Xbox Indie Showcase. They showcased over more than 60 titles. Of course, these aren't all exclusive, right?
Okay.
And 22 of them are coming to Game Pass. Did you happen to look at any of these? I'm gonna switch over here to Firefox, my other screen here.
I watched some of them.
I'm gonna play this thing called Exomecha as soon as we get done with this ad here on a game that Matt is supposedly buying this week, which is the what's that game? It Takes Two that Eric's raving about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We'll be playing that this week.
Play this thing.
It's only $30 too.
Play that fucker. All right. I don't know why it's not letting me go full screen, but anyways. There we go. Full screen. Exomecha was one of the titles they showed off. Is this doing anything for you guys? You looking to get out there in a mech suit and blow shit up on a beach? So it's got a Crisis vibe to it.
It looks very smooth. It looks great. But it looks like any other shooter.
Yeah. First person.
Underwater. I hate water.
Get a term.
I'm gonna try it. If you say that's gonna be on Game Pass, right?
Well, I don't know if this one's on Game Pass. I don't know. I'm just saying this is one of the titles that they were showcasing on Friday.
It's got a
Halo Crisis type vibe to it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it at all, Matt? You were busy on Friday. Did you get to see any games?
I did not get to see any games on Friday. I was busy Friday doing stuff, and I did not get to see this.
There wasn't a whole bunch of titles that I recognized, but that doesn't really mean anything. I'm sort of out of the loop a little bit on some of these.
That landscape there looks really familiar for some reason.
It almost looks like some stuff from Battlefront, right? Like
yeah, maybe that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Battlefront. What is that? Battlefront 1? Or not Battlefront. Well, yeah, it does look like Battlefront.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there was some other titles we're going to look at here. But, to me, indie games, are like where maybe the innovation happens, and maybe some of the AAA stuff is sometimes, they just play it safe. So you got to look at some of these indie games where they push the envelope of what they're doing, and your mileage will vary. I think Eric and myself are more prone to buy the indie games. We look at it, the cool art style, and something interesting going on, and we try it out. Where Matt, you would say you're more guarded in that aspect. If it's on Game Pass, you'll try it out, but it's few and far between where you're going to just plop down money for an indie game.
Yeah, I will say though, for an indie game, that looks like a AAA game for the most part. I mean, that looked smooth, looked good.
Now we're going to play something here, Matt. It's a fishing game, a fishing RPG.
We haven't had a good fishing game in a while.
This one's called Moonglow Bay. Everybody's raving about on Twitter about this.
God, Minecraft.
But it's got I guess there's monsters out there, but it's a fishing RPG, and it takes place in the 80s in Eastern Canada. Now, so you wouldn't buy something like this. If this is coming to Game Pass, so you will be able to play this for free. But otherwise, you would see this and you'd say, no, this is not a buy for me. But you might like to fish. You and your son. You ever go fishing with Noah?
Yeah, I have. Not lately. He went this past weekend a couple times. But yeah, no, it's been a while.
You guys can now and say, you know what, son, I don't feel like going out. I'm old. The knees aren't what they used to be. Let's go to Moonglow Bay and fish together.
Oh, look at that! The kiss.
And then you got to watch out for the monsters in the water. You're not feeling it?
This is a try. No, this is something I try. See what the hell is going on here.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a book there with the recipes and shit to craft stuff. You probably got to craft things and make new lures and better fishing poles and all that crap. Yeah. And
it's So that's coming to Game Pass. And then everybody has been talking about this one here. This, Annapurna puts out some really good games, and this 12 minutes. Supposedly it takes 18 or 15 hours to play, but you play this 12 minutes over and over again to figure out what the hell happened. I think your wife gets someone comes to the door and kills your wife. I can't remember. We watch here. It's just the top down gets me a little nauseous just watching it, but something happens and you just keep replaying like the last 12 minutes over and over again to sort of piece the puzzle back together of what the hell happened. And she's on the ground now, bleeding profusely. There's a spooning in the bed. Look at this. I saw a little footsies action going on too.
Oh,
William Dafoe's in it. An interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop.
This looks interesting. This looks because it's something different.
Right.
It's something different. That looks interesting.
That's what I'm saying about the indie stuff. Sometimes just, find gems in there. I could read you off the names of these things. Some of them, I have no idea. I know back in the Gamers and Beta days, we used to play Night Squad. There's a new version of that, Night Squad 2 coming out. The people, the devs, Drinkbox Studios, who put out the Guacamelee games, they got a new, they have a new action RPG coming out called Nobody Saves the World that has gotten some really good hype or previews online that people are excited about. Stalker 2, they came out and showed like a dev diary on that. They did like a whole thing, 6-minute video, like on the facial and teeth of the characters. You can see some gnarly teeth with gold caps in them and shit like that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot there that I said, "Wow, I need to play that day one." But I gotta dive deeper into some of these. Some of them I have no clue. Like I've never heard of Edge of Eternity or Dead Static Dive, things like that. I mean, certainly Hello Neighbor 2 I'm familiar with. Boyfriend Dungeon, that's been out on other platforms. The other game I hear a lot of people talk about is The Ascent. I've watched the trailer of that a bunch, and I'm not really sure what's going on. It looks like the characters move really slow in the game, but the other people around you are moving very fast. And I know when we play games, Matt, I think it was The Division 2, where you get upset because one of the characters can go prone. And you're like,
yes.
Why can't we go prone? And
why can't we go?
And I was watching the trailer for that game, The Ascent, and maybe it's just the way they had it in the previews where you're walking around slow a little bit and the other characters are dashing everywhere. And I'm like, why can't I dash? Why can't I? Yeah. So, we'll see. I thought it was a good presentation, though. They had Twitch streamers interviewing the developers on the showcase, and they had a lot of games. It went pretty long. Moving on. Matt, we know you're a guy that likes to recycle. You probably got the recycle bins in the garage, right? Xbox is coming out with 2 new controllers, and they're made out of recycled materials.
Interesting.
Yeah, so let's get this up on the screen here so people can take a look. Look at those colors, Matt. And Eric, if you're still with us.
I'm still here.
The fluorescent, I don't know, is that really like a fluorescent green or is that olive green? I can't really tell. And then there's like a red and black camo.
You look larger. Use that green one. The green one looks like it's larger a little bit.
I think it's the angle.
Yeah, I think it's
this is also I was going to say this is a story from Eurogamer, so maybe people in Europe have smaller hands. But I think those are probably Xbox supplied images. The green one is called the Electric Volt, and the red camo is called Daystrike Camo. The newly revealed Xbox controllers come in 2 varieties. There's the high-energy yellow Electric Volt. So they're calling that yellow. That looks more green to me than yellow.
It looks like green, fluorescent green, yeah.
Will cost $64.99. It releases on April 27th. And then the red, gray, and black Day Strike camo, $5 more, $69.99, and that comes out May 4th. They're not just new color variants. It also draws attention to some production changes, more sustainable across the Xbox product life cycle. So the Xbox wireless controllers mark the first time Microsoft has used post-consumer recycled resins in any of its hardware. Post-consumer recycled, Matt, in the recycler term, and that's called PCR.
Okay.
Both devices containing a portion of resins made from recycled materials such as automotive headlight covers, plastic water jugs, and CDs.
They can recycle.
Any of those colors appeal to you guys?
That green looks okay.
I'll probably get the red one.
Oh, the glove box.
Yeah.
There comes with a cost with that. Can they buy the color combination from you as well, Eric? These are all things you have to consider.
Everything has a price, Mike.
I mean, all of a sudden, Eric's become the Ted DiBiase over here, $1 million man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple more here to go over. I like the red. I would agree. The other color, not so much.
It's different.
Back for Blood delayed. It was supposed to come out in June 22nd. It has now been delayed to October 12th. There will still be an open beta this summer. The team needs a bit more time. The best game it can possibly be at launch. So Turtle Rock Studios is working hard to make Back for Blood the best game it can be possible at launch, and the team needs more time to do this. Therefore, we will release Back for Blood on October 12th. We thank our community for its continued support and are excited to share that there will be an open beta this summer. All right. Eric.
Try the beta.
Try the beta. Eric, are you feeling flush with cash tonight? You feel
flush? What does that mean, flush?
That means you got a lot. You're overflowing.
I'm good, yeah.
All right. I'm going to show you a new thing here that you can spend some money on. The Power A Fusion Pro wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch. Okay, we got this up on the stream here. Comes in black. It comes in white with black buttons and some red circles around the thumbsticks. It also comes in black as well. It's got the paddles on the back.
What's the price?
$100. Comes with the case. Comes with the case. Looks like it's got removable thumbsticks. USB-C.
Okay. Here's the deal on that. Probably not, because the Switch Pro is about to come out. Unless that's compatible, unless they can say that's compatible. Not, bruh.
And so it's got a mappable Pro Pack, level up your game with 4 programmable paddles, 2 swappable magnetic faceplates, choose black or white. So it's going to look like it's going to give you both. Embedded anti-friction rings, play with super smooth stick control on either faceplate. 2 swappable extra analog sticks featuring convex and concave caps. Injected rubber grips, top-of-the-line rubberized handles, provide hours and hours of comfortable gaming. 3.5 millimeter stereo audio jack for your wired headset. Detachable 9.8 USB-C cable. Custom travel case. Wired USB and wireless 900 mAh rechargeable battery. Officially licensed by Nintendo and includes a 2-year limited warranty. Comes out
it looks
April
cool.
4th.
It looks cool.
So that's a solid maybe if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, that's a definite maybe. You are 100% correct.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Matt threw this one in here. Outriders giving cheaters a scarlet letter. Matt, what is this all about?
Yeah, so apparently in this single-player game, there's people cheating, which kind of doesn't make sense, I guess. So they're cheating. They're getting all this exotic loot and everything like that. And to help, I guess, with matchmaking. They're going to put cheaters in with cheaters for matchmaking. And then they're going to put some type of watermark across the screen. So when you're streaming or if you load video up to YouTube, it's going to say something like, I cheated, or I'm a cheater, or something like that you will not be able to remove when you upload the videos and stuff. And other people will be able to see that.
So it says here, according to the devs, only about 0.01% of demo players cheated. But to be clear, the studio sees you all of you.
Yeah.
It even singled out one cheater who gave themselves 600 ill-gotten legendary weapons. If you do decide to cheat, you won't be banned, but you'll be punished in some other ways. For starters, cheaters will be kept separate from legit players during matchmaking. People Can Fly warns that this will probably lead to longer wait times. Also, a small, discreet but easy-to-spot mark will be added to your HUD. So if you say a popular streamer, everyone will be able to see you cheated. So so you're like Dr. Disrespect, you cheated in the game, it's going to say on your HUD when you stream the game that I'm a cheater or something along those lines. So they've laid out... Go ahead.
Well, I don't understand the cheating in this game. I guess it's like any game. You want to outwork it to get the good gear and not have to work for it, I guess.
Let's say what they do consider cheating is intentionally running the game on PC without easy anti-cheat, modifying game files to enhance a character, levels, skills, inventory, etc., externally modifying game time to reduce time-dependent features such as vendors and challenges, using a trainer program or similar to gain advantages within the game, using gameplay-altering programs such as aimbots or wall hacks. Why you would fucking do that in this type of game or any game is, it sounds like more work than it should be. People Can Fly clarified that farming for loot is not cheating. And that really blows my mind. The farming for loot, I see people every day playing this demo, the same people over and over again playing this on Xbox. I don't know. I mean, the gameplay was okay, but I didn't think it was compelling enough that I wanted to play this demo over and over again to get the legendary. Like, what are you going to do once you get in there and you got all these legendary weapons? You're just going to blow through the content in like fucking 2 days?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I almost played it today, but I didn't. I played Division instead. We'll get to that later.
Eric, did you ever get to this? Outriders?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, but not much.
No. I mean, I think being included in Game Pass is the right call, and I think being somewhere around $29.99 or $39.99 would have been the right call on other platforms. But I didn't see enough here to say I'm going to go back every fucking day and farm this thing. But I'm also not Matt. I'm also not that guy that likes to play shit over and over and over again. Right.
Yeah. That's why you're not the whole Destiny thing, because it's just like, well, we just did this. I feel like I've done this before. It's like, well, we have done this before. We're grinding.
We're grinding, baby.
Grinding.
Well, tell me about the grind, Matt. We're going to get into what we've been playing. I've been playing a lot of the Division 2, speaking of grinding and playing content over and over again. But usually when I'm on, I see you've been playing Destiny still.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of Destiny, getting through and doing my weekly stuff, my challenges and that, and bounties and everything. It just draws me into it to just go chill and do this shit and get it over with. But I have been doing a lot of Division 2 also. Clearing out, you and I last week, we went through, we did one stronghold. We got the other one we have to do yet, Roosevelt Island we have to do. But we cleared out some checkpoints and so forth that make it easier to fast travel around the world. And this past weekend, especially today, I spent a lot of time going through and clearing other control points, getting shade caches, just kind of doing little things in the world to clean up stuff. Just because that kind of drives me crazy. When I look at the map, I see all that shit hanging there. It's like, man, I got to do this stuff. But we got to do Roosevelt Island, and then the last stronghold, which is the Capitol building. Got to do, and then go do that, and then we'll be ready to move on to
Yeah, well,
bigger, better things.
That's what I want to discuss. Like, what is bigger and better things? Are we just going to go to like World Tier 5 and then bounce to New York? Or how many times are we going to go through playing this invaded stuff before we bounce to New York?
See, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking we finish the shit in DC, okay, and then we go to New York.
Well, see, I got to finish. I'm already like in World Tier 1, so I'd have to finish my stuff in DC for the second time and then bounce if everybody's going to bounce. But I'm almost done.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'm not too far. I could finish it in, a couple of days or whatever. It's not that hard. The game has gotten easier for some reason.
Good. Well, have you been playing by yourself a lot too?
Yeah, it's sort of easy.
I've noticed that it is easier when you're by yourself compared to the other night when it was you, me, Scar, and Jay all in the same game.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Shit was just popping all over the goddamn place, man.
Yeah, that's fun too. But I also don't think you're getting as... I don't know, this should be like a reward like this. Yeah, it's more people, it's harder, so yeah, you could get better loot that way. But I'd be okay making it a little bit harder on solo to get better loot, rather than just, easier and not having any loot. Not everybody's got people to play with all the time, and you're penalizing the person that just... Yeah, you could do matchmaking with randoms, but not everybody likes to play with randoms.
Reward the single players too.
Yeah, make it a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
What else have you been playing?
That's mainly it. That and Destiny. I'm just cranking through Destiny. There's some new quests to do now, some new storyline shit to go through. So working on that. New season will be coming up here, I think, in the middle of April, end of April. I think the new season will start here soon. And then the one I watched that Justice League, that Snyder cut Justice League.
4 hours?
No, only half of it because I realized I was like, wait a minute, this is 4 fucking hours long. No, so I've only watched half of it so far. What the hell? 4 hours long, and the goddamn thing is 4:3 ratio. It's not 16:9. What the fuck? Why?
What does that mean? It's got the black borders around it and shit?
It's got the black borders on each side. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck's this?
Have you watched it yet, Eric? He's watching it right now.
He's watching it right now.
I haven't watched it. I'm listening to you guys. I haven't watched it at all. I have it downloaded, let's say.
You have it downloaded? Do you have a Plex server? I know a guy with a Plex server.
Yeah, we know someone's got a Plex server.
Yeah. Exactly.
What I've seen,
is it good, Matt? Is the 2 hours was the 2 hours you watched good?
It was okay. Yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. So far.
Do you have the first one to reference it? Can you remember the first one?
Not.
Yeah,
I've never seen the first one. I've never seen the first one.
Well, I guess that's the whole point of it. It's like you see how the original was, and then you're supposed to compare it.
I can't believe that there's 2 extra fucking hours of a goddamn 4 hours. 4 hours.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but isn't like the first 15 minutes have like no talking?
No, there's all types of talking.
Oh, I thought people said, I haven't seen it, but I've seen people.
It's where Batman meets Aquaman.
I heard in the first 15 minutes, it's like, no talking. Like, that's how you get to be a 4-hour fucking movie. It's no opening dialogue in the first 15 minutes. But, as soon as, it was like putting the bat symbol out there, Matt. As soon as we said Plex, there was Chase in chat. It was like the bat symbol.
Right. Yep, right there. So I'm a little pissed off at the 4:3 aspect ratio. Okay, that's not cool.
You can't do anything about that? That's no setting or anything?
No. Nope. Because apparently that's how Jack, he won, his vision.
The man had a vision.
Dude, no one goes to the fucking movie theater for a fucking 4:3 ratio movie.
Someone came to him in the night and he had a vision.
No one no. If that shit came out in the movie theater with, a big screen with half of the screen not being used, they've been pissed off people. That'd been fucking bullshit. Okay? That's like when you're shooting video on your phone vertical instead of horizontal. Okay? That's just shitty. Anyways,
don't you hate when you getting back to the balloon knots? Don't you hate when you get the videos that just are like a fucking postage stamp? That's another. That's another instant. Like, boop, get away.
I want the whole picture.
Yeah,
I want the whole picture.
Who the fuck's? Who's the cinematographer in this?
I want to be immersed. I want to be immersed.
Yeah,
immersion. We've always talked about immersion, Mike.
You want to be in mirth? I don't know what that means, but.
That's it.
Have you watched Falcon the Winter Soldier?
No.
I have.
Yeah. How was
that?
It's
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it's only 2 episodes out right now. But yeah, I've actually watched it, and we did that down. My wife and middle son watch it every Friday night, and I says, "Well, you guys want me to watch it because we were down the Cape." And I said, "I got to watch the first episode." But I just can't jump into episode 2 here. We got to watch them both back to back. So they acquiesced, and we watched both of them on Friday night. Now, Invincible is out on Amazon Prime. Are you going to be watching that? The comic book cartoon episodes 1 to 3 are out.
I will check that out. I saw that the other day. I do plan on wanting to check that out and see what that is.
Chase has some very detailed info in chat. He says the film is 4.3 and cropped to 16.9 for theaters. Granted, they set up the shots for 16.9 or 2.39, but the full film is 4.3 like a photograph.
So it's no different from what I said. Yeah, it's 4.3. Isn't that what I said? That's what I said. Yep. Yeah, but Winter Soldier and Falcon. You know, I didn't know much about. I certainly knew about the Winter Soldier's backstory. I don't know too much about Falcon. But yeah, and then there's 2 episodes of that out already. Fuck. Okay.
And then last night we watched the Captain America. It was a Winter Soldier. I'm not sure which one I watched. I watched one of the Captain Americas last night, where they're fighting, and he keeps calling him Bucky, my friend, or they got the spaceships are up in the sky and they're fighting, and the whole shit goes, and they fall into the water, and Bucky saves them and drags them up on shore. Whichever fucking Captain America that was. That's the one. That's the one.
That was Winter. That was Winter Soldier. I think so. Right.
Okay. That's the one I watched last night.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Eric, what have you been playing besides the JOB?
I've been playing the JOB mostly, but I've been doing a lot of retro gaming. I don't do a lot of that, but I was doing a lot of retro gaming here lately because
you've been doing it constantly.
I got all these one-up arcades. Yeah, constantly. I do it constantly. I got up all these one-up arcades in, right? So I'm putting those little things together, right? So I'm playing a lot of those.
I feel like, Eric, you do a lot of tinkering, but maybe not playing a lot. Like I think we
I was playing. Let me tell you something. I played that. Maybe one whole day, bro. I've been playing NBA Jam.
These are small.
Yeah, and it has 3 on it. It has NBA Jam, and then it has like some other ones. It's fantastic.
These are small, right?
Yeah, they're like half the size of a real arcade, but they're the screen is only like 7 inches. But I mean, they're cool though. They have risers and everything to make them like normal size and everything. And
how many of these you have?
I have 4 right now. I'm trying to get a whole lot more. I have NBA Jam, have the Star Wars one, the sit down one actually, where you sit down. I had that. I have Big Buck Hunter with the 2 shotguns. It's almost like a duck hunt type deal. And Outrun. Remember the driving game Outrun?
Mm-hmm. And the quality is good?
Yeah, it looks just like the arcade, Like you were to play it in the arcade. So Outrun looks just like Outrun, the way it used to look.
Now, do you turn all these machines on at the same time so it sounds like you're in an arcade?
Absolutely.
So they're all going at the same time and just like running through like their previews, like insert coin and all that.
Oh, all of that, man. It's pretty dope. So that's mostly what I've been playing with, getting that stuff together because I'm trying to have those that first Mario room I have in my man cave.
Yep.
I'm trying to redo it. I'm turning it into an arcade room, so it's gonna be lined with arcade 1-ups all over the place.
Show Note says the 1-ups are cool. He's got a friend who mods them.
Yeah, I was gonna mod mine too. Like on a Big Buck Hunter, I'm gonna put a 20-inch screen in. It's really easy, so it's nothing to it. And they have stuff that you can buy for them, like lights and stuff for the molding and all that.
How much does the electric bill go up when you fire all these up at once?
My electric bill is not that high, bro, because nobody's there but me and Jonna, so my electric bill's not high, bro.
Chase is still going hard. Go ahead, keep going.
Huh?
I was going to say Chase is still going hard on the 4.3 here with Matt, giving us all sorts of copious details in chat.
For Matt, you sure it wasn't 16.9, Matt, or was it 4.3?
He says, Chase says IMAX is 4.3. That's the main reason the movie is in 4.3. To which Matt would rebut, so it's 4.3, like I said.
But for me, man, that's all that's for me. I'm going to be making some videos about all that stuff. Are
your videos going to be 4.3 or 16 by 9?
They're going to be 16 by 9, and I'm going to be making videos about all those arcades and some more stuff I got coming up. That's it.
We got the robotic Eric back tonight. It's glorious. We got that whole last sentence in slow-mo. Someone clipped that.
It was awesome.
Let's see,
I do it constantly. Let's get that in robot too.
We already got that. For me, besides the Division 2, I had a bad night. I forget what it was. Thursday night, I tried to play shit. I tried to play some Immortals. I fucking was like, yeah, let me just go fight Achilles. And I got this crazy puzzle thing to do with all these like lifts and blowing these balls everywhere. And I was like, fuck this.
Mike doesn't like the puzzles.
No, if I'm going to do the puzzles like that, I'm getting a guide out and it's going to show me exactly what I need to do so I can go fight that guy. All these lifts and, moving all this crap. No, not after a work day. Not happening. So other than that, today I came home and I played a bunch of the Crash game. I finally bought that on the PS5 because of the sale. Really enjoying that. I see that as like a game I'll play every so often and go through a level and not rush through it. But Eric, what is pissing me off is to get the skins in that game. You got to get a perfect score each level. You got to get 6 diamonds to unlock each skin.
Yeah, that's damn near impossible. Yeah, that's damn near impossible, bro.
That's not happening for me. That is not happening. So I'm not getting a lot of skins in this game, I'll tell you that. Chase is correct. 0 blowing balls for Mike. Yep, not into the blowing of the balls. But then over the weekend, when I had the Switch with me down the Cape, I've been playing a lot of Hades. Finally sinking my teeth into that game. And what I'm quickly realizing is, Matt and Eric, that my reflexes are not what they used to be. And in this game, I'm having a terrible time juggling, what's on the screen and all these like little purple orbs coming at me and shooting shit. And I got to move around on, do your dash. I'm making progress though. The whole roguelike things, your mileage will vary. But I do feel like each time I die, I'm gaining some sort of improvements to my character, so each run is lasting a little bit longer than the previous one. But still, I don't know if I'll be able to get through some of these levels. I just go in and all the shit just pops off suddenly, and I'm dead like instantly, and I don't even know like who I was fighting or what I was fighting. I just go through the door, and it's just like fireworks went off, and I'm dead.
Huh. Gone.
Chase is wondering if there's a bong going in the background. No, I think Eric's doing JOB stuff in the background, Chase. No bongs. No bongs. Certainly not me and Matt.
No.
Matt's doing anal bongs.
Yeah, that's why I keep moving around, because it jumped in there.
Yeah.
But I'm doing job.
You doing what?
I'm doing job stuff.
Yeah,
job stuff.
Right.
Job Job stuff.
Java. I'm doing Java.
I think he's trying to say I'm doing a genre.
I thought that's why I did a double take there, and I was like, what?
It's a hell of a lunch break. That's a hell of a lunch break.
It is. But Hades, I can see why it's got so many Game of the Year awards. It's really well done. The voice acting, the soundtrack, the diversity of enemies. It's really put together well. Just I don't know if it's the game for you, Matt, and I don't know if it's the game for me either. I can see myself putting a couple more hours into this and being like, that was nice. I don't know if I have the patience. I need to see an end, some sort of reward for all the hours I put into it, and I don't know if it's going to give me enough of that over time.
Okay.
Let's see here. We have one voicemail from this. We have two voicemails from the same person, and it's not double F.
No.
So let's fire up the number. Before we do that, Matt, why don't you give out the number?
Yeah, it is 508-659-BFFS, 508-659-2337.
All right. Who could it be? It's not Dub F.
Sorry, I guess I should have done that before while I was listening to. All right, whatever. What up? This is Los, giving you a call, saying hi. I feel like Matt has been waiting for me to call, so I figured I'd give him the pleasure, because I know Matt likes that. So
Matt likes give
what's up?
The pleasure
What's
giving.
new? How's it going? I wanted to say you're welcome for the graphics. It looks awesome on a shirt. Very happy they came out good. Thank you to Beardy McWhiskey for the inspiration, for the ideas. It's like he speaks and my mind just starts going and it was like I was struck by some mystical force. But yeah, just want to say hi and thanks for the opportunity. And yeah, if anybody else wants any designs, first one's free. So the Bad Potter figures they hold a special place. But for everybody else, we'll talk business and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So
glove box insurance needs some artwork.
What to ask? I don't know anything top of my head. It's been a long week. It's been a long year. It's almost there. Gonna get vaccines pretty soon. That's exciting. Yeah. So I'm gonna hang up now. Rambling. That's what I'm doing. And yeah, have a good show. Peace out. Take care. Bye-bye.
So he calls back again. Let's just set up this next call, Matt. I think I haven't heard the tone of it, so maybe the tone is tongue in cheek. But just the translation of the from Google sounds like he's apologizing. So for people who don't know, after the show wrapped up last week, Los put out another T-shirt design that had all like the words of Matt's intro for Terrible Topics, along with the face of Matt's beard shaving accident. Now I want to be 100% clear here. I was not offended, and Matt was not offended, and Matt didn't come to me and said, "Mike, hey, will you take that down?" I just took it down in my own, just of my own free will of taking it down because I said, in the long run, does Matt want an image floating out there with his face and saying vaginas and everything like that next to it? So everybody had a good laugh, and then I just said, let's just take it down because I don't know. I don't know I
was not offended at all.
No, none of us were offended. I mean, Christ, we're talking about balloon knots here. I mean, no one's offended by anything.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
But I'm not sure. That's just setting up the call, but I'm not sure what his tone is here.
I remember what I was going to say now. I wanted to apologize. I wanted to say sorry to Matt for offending him so viciously with the last graphic that I made. I felt horrible, and he says I didn't offend him, but it was bad. So to whoever didn't see it, you miss out, and whoever did see it, I'm sorry. I probably have cursed your families, and yeah, there will never be virgin eyes amongst your anything anymore, because it was pretty rough, but it was very vulgar. It was very offensive. You know, it was something that I made. It was very late, and I don't know what came over me. So I'm sorry, Matt. Please forgive me. And to give you something to discuss, I don't know, what is offensive to you? Like, what is it that would be something that would happen to you that would make you feel like you're really bothered by it, like you're really pissed off? The wife and I, we almost got into a pretty big fight here with some lawn guys across the street. They were blowing leaves into our yard, and he thought it was okay because it came from our tree. So he was blowing it from another yard that he was working on, and he was blowing it into our yard because it was from our tree. So he thought it was okay instead of being, somebody working and picking it up. He was a lazy asshole. So yeah, he was looking for a fucking fight, and I was about to give it to him, but whatever. So yeah, I was pretty offended by that. So yeah, what's offensive to you, Matt? I already know that shirt was offensive, the graphic, but everybody else, whatever. All right, have a good show.
I'd pay good money to see Los fight a landscaper in flip flops with
socks,
with those individual toed socks.
That's what offends me. I think that's what offends me. Yeah. But to be clear, okay, I was not offended at all by it. I mean, those words came out of my mouth, okay? Right. Everything on that shirt was stuff that I said, okay? No, I was not offended at all. I just don't like that picture. It's like that picture with a joke that's fun, okay? Let's not use that for anything. No, Los, dude, you're wearing too fucking much, okay? It was hilarious, okay? It was funny. There's a lot of goddamn words in that shirt to see, though, for someone to, if you're walking down the street, for someone to see and read and shit.
You think the merch company would have printed that?
They would have like, what in the hell?
That's like one of those things where like the people who used to get like their vacation pictures developed at CVS. They're like,
yeah,
what the hell is that? The printer at the merch place would have looked at that and been like, what? Women of the night for
what is this guy's problem? What is wrong with his face? And this other guy, he's messed up. No, let's chill the fuck out.
Well, we know Matt's got a very low tolerance. He doesn't get offended by much. I mean, certainly people that he comes in contact with on a daily basis. The guy that saw you driving on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Yeah. I have low patience. I don't get offended very easy, but I have low patience. I know it's totally different things.
No.
Yeah.
Shono says, "I'm a black man in America. The offensive shit has already happened to us." Certainly can understand. Certainly can understand that. Well, I can't understand it, but I can. What's the right way to say that? I don't understand it because I can't put myself in your shoes, but I empathetic.
Yeah, empathize.
Yeah.
So what else? I think anything like crosses a line, like with family, like kids or something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's probably. But yeah, I think. There's a difference between being offended and patience, right? Like you said, like I have low patience for stupidity, right?
Yeah.
But there's very few things that someone can say to me to offend me. I guess it would be like the family or kids or something along that line. But even then, Like depends on the tone, depends on what you're saying. God, your kids are ugly just like you. Oh, you mean what do you want me to fucking say?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they took over me, not their mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, how about you? There's a cop. The people degrade you as a cop. Have a donut. How come you're not at the donut?
I got thick skin, bro. It doesn't offend me. It don't offend me.
Okay. That's good to hear. You gotta be calm, cool, and collected, I imagine, as a police officer, and not let you gotta be like Teflon, right?
Yeah, man. And people throw stuff. I mean, you get racist. You get man, please.
Yeah, double whammy there. You got the racist bullshit and you got the cop shit.
Yeah, all of that. The only thing that really gets me mad is one thing that really, I mean, if you're trying to trigger me, it's one thing you can do to me to trigger me.
No, don't say it.
If you spit on me.
Oh.
If you spit on me, I'm going to lose it.
So I used to, obviously used to play in bands, and we went on tour with this pretty big band. They were called Fear. And, back in the 70s, the punk rock thing was to get spit on. That was like a sign of, like, respect. Like, people in the crowd were, like, gobs of spit thrown your way and shit, right? And Lee Ving, who's the singer of Fear, was not having that in the 90s. He was not having, we were on tour, and people started spitting, and that was like the fucking end, nope, fucking smacking guys, stepping on their heads. This motherfucker threw him
the
out.
Worst. That's the worst for me, bro.
He might have tolerated it when he was a younger man in the 70s, but when he was an older man in the 90s, he was not putting up with that bullshit.
Yeah. Damn, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you see me go, you'll see me go from 0 to 100 real quick. You spit on me, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the ultimate, like, it's like crossing the line of like giving like your own germs to someone else who didn't ask for them. Is that like? I think there's a better way to describe that, but that's what it feels like. Yeah, it's like a real personal thing. Someone gave something of themselves to you that you didn't want at all. A real personal item.
Let me tell you something. Ugh.
But you see that all. I mean, you would see that all the time, though, as kids, right? Kids getting into fights. One kid with siblings or whatever. Yeah. I know one guy that shit in his brother's bed and didn't tell him until 20 years later, and the guy had to grow up thinking he shat himself. But we won't go down that.
Yeah.
Hell of a story. All right.
The things you hear.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up. We're at 11 o'clock. Shout-outs, plugs, comments, Matt?
Chase, Jay, Show Enough, Al was in there. Thank you guys for joining us in chat tonight. Really enjoy having the interaction with chat and people and listening to the show and everything. And Wednesday night game nights, don't forget that stuff there. Always a good time getting. We don't even have people all playing the same game. We're all either in a party just talking and bullshitting or whatever, and going on from there. So
we're learning
always a good time.
We're learning the inner workings of the Plex server,
and many other things.
Always a good time hanging out with Chase.
It's always an interesting time.
My fave times hanging out with Chase is when he's like right at the end of he's about to fall asleep. He's like in that delirious state.
Yes.
He comes in and out of consciousness.
Yes. It was real good last Wednesday. They're the ones before last where he was just like, come back. So I swore he had a fucking stroke or something.
I think I gotta go now.
Yeah.
Good times. Eric, how about you? How's the internet connection over there? Can you get a few words out?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it real quick. I want to, thank everybody in chat, and thank you two for, being on every Sunday. It's awesome.
You want to thank us for setting the value of Glove Box. We gave you a price range. Matt said $1,000. Right. Remember that Matt said $1,000, and I was more like in the $50,000 to $100,000 range.
So it's somewhere in between that.
When this deal is brokered, and you do get more up in the higher end, I just want you to know who set that price.
I got you, bro.
You got me.
And now, how does this affect us? Because we're a subsidiary of Glovebox Gaming, so
yeah, I mean, bought out.
Yeah,
yeah, I'll buy y'all out.
We get free car insurance from these people. Can you work some of that into the deal? Do they offer insurance in your region?
I don't know.
Yeah. Fuck, man, insurance for life.
I'll take that. That's some good savings there.
Yeah, it all depends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shout out to everybody, certainly in chat, and Matt and Eric. Fun week here. Episode 157. Reminder, all our shit's up on YouTube, the audio and video portions of this lovely podcast. So for all your, needs during the week, having a bad day at work, you pop on Matt's face during the shaving. Having a great day at work and you want to be upset, you can pop on and look at my face. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Reminder, no show next week. Have a great Sunday night free. Hang out with your family. Watch the 4 hours of Snyder Cut on 4.3, right, Matt?
4.3.
4.3. You feel like you're getting gypped?
I am getting gypped.
Are you watching the 4.3 on a non-smart TV too to really get that effect?
I should pull out an old TV somewhere and watch it on that. No, I'm watching it on my big screen down here. It's in 4K UHD and everything, but no, it's 4:3.
All right.
Bullshit.
Well, good chat with you guys. Lots of stuff covered this week. We had Spicy Eric in the middle of the podcast, and he was coming strong. If Phil's listening, Eric just wants you guys
spicy.
He just wants you to put up. He wants his games now. Okay. We'll catch you all.
Mike wants him to put out.
We'll catch you all in 2 weeks.
What? Fuck?
Good night, everybody. We'll catch you in a few weeks. See ya.